Another day, another deal, as Chef Pusheen is helping out again today. This one's a bit more complicated, only because of where we are in the S23 Ultra's product life cycle. You're going to see two links in the description. That's because they do help the channel, by the way, and I appreciate when you use them. The first one is a Best Buy link. If you want the $8.99 price tag on this, no hassle, no nothing. If you don't have a trade-in, you can click that link and get $8.99 from Best Buy straight away. That's the one that I don't recommend. Not because of the pricing stuff or anything like that. Just because I think if you're getting this at $8.99, you could wait, unless your phone is completely busted and you want a Samsung. I think at this point in the life cycle of the S23, you at least wait until January. See what Samsung puts out. And then if you don't want an S24 Ultra, perhaps the design change, the flat display, whatever they do on it, doesn't speak to you, you can see what the new old stock prices on the S23 Ultra would be. Because I got to imagine that then the sales at that point for this one, for even new ones in the box that you could find, would be a bit better than $900. So that's what I recommend on that one. The second link is the one that if you want one of these, I think you could actually get some pretty good value. It's an odd thing because Samsung is goofy this year. It is a link that brings you to the Samsung app. Even if you don't have it, it's fine. If you're on your phone or your other computer, it doesn't matter. It's going to work the same. If you're on your phone, you click it, it's going to encourage you to download the app. Here's why you do that. You get the $8.99 price, which you don't get on the Samsung site regularly. You got to go through the app to get it. The price that they're offering it for other $8.99, other retailers without having to do this. You got to go through the Samsung app. But the reason why you get the enhanced trade-in offers. So if you have a trade-in on this phone, like an S22, something like that, you can really stack up the savings and get something like this for $300-400. And I think at that point, that's really where the value lies on this sale, because even with enhanced trade-in offers on the S24 Ultra, you're really going to have a hard time getting it down to like $300. So if you're somebody trading something in, then this starts to make sense. Otherwise, there's no problems with this device. My SIM's back in it. One UI 6 has been released on this device, so I'm going to give my thoughts on that probably later next week once all the sales stuff has cleared out. But the short version of it is running well. I really like the aesthetic enhancements to One UI. No problem with how smooth it is. Had zero issue with battery life on it. Really just great. It is the best phone on the Android side that you're going to get here in the United States. Even still, there's no reason why you wouldn't pick one of these up, other than the fact that the S24 Ultra is coming down the pike. Now, a lot of people have complained about they severely reduced the screen curve on the S23 Ultra. A lot of people have complained about the rumors now that they're going to go completely flat like they have on the S23 FE for the S24 Ultra. Completely flat across. I happen to like that. I happen to like it a lot, especially when you're talking about the S Pen, because I like the fact that I could use the entire display for the S Pen, and One UI doesn't have to do that thing with screenshots where it kind of shrinks it down to the writable area. I don't like having to do that. They started that with the Note 9 because the Note 9 was dramatically curved. So you'd fall off there, not get to use the entire display. I like a flat display, especially with a pen input. I know plenty of people disagree with that. And if you're one of them, well, then pick up an S23 Ultra at a discounted price, because you're still getting a top-of-the-line phone. You're going to get a phone that has all the enhancements of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. So you're getting the power efficiency. You're getting all the power. You're getting the benchmarks everybody likes to crow about. You're getting the gaming performance. It's a fantastic, fantastic OLED panel. Best always on display in the marketplace. Fantastic build just all around. This phone feels great. The matte, lavender finish or whatever this is, lilac finish on the back of this phone just feels really great. It's a phone that, if you're like a slightly curved Note-esque device in S23 Ultra, this might be the last one you're going to get for a little while until Samsung gets the flat display back out of its system. But the software updates have been on point. And this is the first time I can remember that with a major update of Android for a company, a redesign, that I wasn't nervous. I knew what they provided with One UI 5.1. I knew how well that ran, and I was confident, unlike I am with some other manufacturers like Google, that OnePlus, that they'll deliver on their software updates. I really think that 4 years or whatever you're going to get now, 3 out of this, of the major updates of Android, you're going to be pleased with it. Going to be running well. Samsung has not done well only with the aesthetic portion of it. I love what they do with One UI. I think it's great. But the optimization portion of it. These devices don't fall off a cliff now. It's not like where the old ones are a year or two old. It's not optimized for them. Doesn't matter. It's optimized really for the new one. That was a big thing a few years ago. When companies would release updates for older devices, or when we started to get to like kind of 3 years, because it was like a year or two, and then they kind of disappear and all the rest of it. When we started to get to that 3 year, companies would heavily optimize the new OS for the very new device, but kind of like just throw it on the other devices. That's not the case anymore, especially with Samsung. They really tailor the experience to this device, the older device. When it comes to the S22 Ultra in a little bit, a month or two's time, I'm sure that's going to be good. I think it might be actually rolling out for the S22 Ultra now, but that one's going to be a good experience. So, yes, are you near the end of the life cycle of this being the main flagship for Samsung? Absolutely. But if you could pick up one for $300, well, you're going to be getting a flagship experience for a long, long time. That's perfect if you're getting for gifts for somebody. If you're somebody that's like an aunt or an uncle or your parents or somebody you want to have an Android device that's powerful, that's full featured, that they're they're going to use a bunch of the stuff, but isn't exactly someone who needs to be on the cutting edge of everything. Someone who's not going to look at the S24 Ultra in a couple months' time and be like, oh boy, I really wish I had waited and picked that one up instead. Because if you're one of those people, then wait. If you're paying $900 just flat out for this, I personally, I don't think I would. I don't think I would. MacRumors.com for the Apple stuff used to have this they still do, have this little buyer's guide with these colors on it. It's like, well, this product's green, just got recycled. This product's yellow, mid-cycle. This product's red, update due soon, and that's when you kind of hold off. This one it's got a red badge on it. This is product update due soon. But there's advantages and values to be had there if you know what you're doing, and you don't really care about that, because like I said, take advantage of the enhanced trade-ins. Use that link in the description. Go through the app, as stupid as that is. Go through the app. Get the 25% off that everybody else is offering. Best Buy and Amazon and all the rest. So get that 25% off and then stack it with those enhanced trade-ins that you could pick up on this device, because that's where you really start to get to the goofy numbers where you could get one of these for $300-400. I think you do that, you're plenty well off. You're happy. You got a great phone. You got a phone with the periscope zoom, with the 10x, which apparently they're doing away with. They're going to go 5x. So if you're somebody that really loved that extra versatility of your camera system, then you can take advantage of that with the S23 Ultra. You got One UI 6. I love the aesthetic enhancements of One UI 6, specifically in the camera app. You don't have all that nonsense at the top now. It's perfectly clear. 9x16, 12 megabit. Like, you could just clearly get to the mode that you want to be in and get the shot that you want. And since probably the last 6 months or so, I really have not had any issue with shutter lag on Samsung devices. It's still a thing on a couple of them, but it seems like overall they've gotten that under control, which is really what you'd like to see. Smoothest one on the block here on the US side. Pick one up cheap. Go ahead and do it. If it's $900 plus tax, you're getting close to $1,000. I say wait and see until January. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.